Hi, everyone. I'm Courtney Arlesia, and today I'm beyond excited to be joined by the incredible Imani Nia Robinson. She's an actress, writer, producer, and the creative force behind the new award-winning pilot, Three Blind Mice. You have to watch it, everybody. This series is already making waves for the way it explores identity, belonging, and Blackness while also highlighting Baltimore as a character in its own right. Imani not only created the stars in the show, but she also co-executive produced it with her mom, which also makes the project even more powerful. Imani, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really, really excited to dive into this project. I think one of the things that, you went viral on TikTok.
Yes, I
Yeah,
did, and it,
yeah.
it was so unexpected. I feel like everyone says that though when they go viral, but really, and that was the best video for me to experience going viral with too.
Yeah, and so that's how I got introduced to you. So, girl, I'm always on TikTok. TikTok is my guilty pleasure. It's my
Same.
way to like stay sane. And so you
Mhm.
came to my TikTok, and the preview alone, I was like, let me go watch this.
Yeah.
This is great. And
Mhm.
then when I watched it, so I have my background is in social work, and of course I'm a Black woman, and I think we're always fighting for a space to be seen or and making sure that we take up space. And so when I watched the show, I was like, wow, this is such a beautiful conversation on identity and how it looks different for Black women or Black people in general in different ways, in different
Mhm.
layers. And I think sometimes we forget about that. So you have like this beautiful storyline to Three Blind Mice. So take us a little bit. I want to know more behind the name. I don't think anybody really asked about the name.
Good
So I
point.
want to
Yes.
I want to know more about the name Three Blind Mice, and then just take us to into the journey of creating it too.
Okay. So the name Three Blind Mice, so it's about three Black women, Naima, Muffet, and Brittany, who are navigating adulthood in their 20s. They're all at different ages in their 20s. So Naima's 21, Muffet and Brittany are 25 and 24. And so because there's no manual for that, navigating adulthood, it's the blind leading the blind. So it's like a play on
Mm.
words. I know the name is very unassuming and like kind of like peculiar, but once you like get it, it makes sense.
Yeah, that makes so much sense now. And when you watch the show, that makes even more sense because when because I told you, girl, I'm telling everybody about the show. So
Thank you. I really
so when
appreciate
I'm you're welcome. So when I'm talking about it, I'm talking about all the characters too, because like you introduced them in a way that they each have their own story.
Yes.
So which character most like are you inspired by? Because you act in the show as well,
I
but which one like gives you like, okay, I can't wait to tell their story. I can't wait for other people to learn about their story too.
You know what? I'm really excited for people to learn more about Muffin. Um Episode 2 is gonna be a prequel, so you're gonna learn all about Muffin individually, and as well as episode 3, you'll learn all about Brittany individually. I'm really excited for people to dive deeper into Muffin. I was very intentional when writing the script that I wanted Naima to be flawed. I didn't want
Mhm.
her, and I was very aware of colorism too, and like how I know a lot of people get frustrated seeing lighter skinned actresses star in movies and shows, but I really wanted badly to start it myself because it was like, my baby is like my dream role,
Mhm.
and I wanted to show different shades of Black women, but I also knew that Naima couldn't just be just this innocent girl, right?
Yeah,
So she
yeah.
has judgments too coming into this new world, but she kind of, I guess, gets some slack because she's kind of naive based on her
Mhm.
upbringing. But there were moments like when Naima met Muffin at the door. Naima said that the neighborhood was sketch, and Muffin had an attitude, but rightfully so.
Right,
Okay.
right.
And so, but people keep talking about how Muffin is just so rude and just like, why she's so angry. Did people not hear that phone call she just had with her grandma?
Right, right.
She's going
Yeah.
through a lot of things, and I really wanted to break that trope of quote unquote angry Black woman. She's going through so many things, and I think that this topic of prejudices that we have in all communities really is a really great topic of discussion, and I really wanted it to be broken down. And so I'm just really excited for people to get to know Muffin, because she can come off as kind of cold and insensitive at first, but that's her defense mechanism. But when you get to learn her, and when she actually starts to love you, she's the softest person. And so I really wanted to not be stereotypical. I wanted this each character storylines to not be linear and to like dive deep. And so I'm so excited to dive deeper with her character for the audience to see.
Yeah, I love that too. And I think because of how you ended it, and like I told my best friend today, I was like, that's the best cliffhanger that I've ever watched. Because normally you watch cliffhangers because you get mad about it. You're like, what the hell? I can't believe. But like yours, like everybody's talking about it because it was written very well. Like it's just amazing. But it also kind of leaves us in a space to learn more about Muffin too. And I like that. I like that because so I have a couple questions because it leads me into a little bit about the conversations of layers of Blackness and our Black experience, but also like how we can understand each other through it too, because like the misunderstandings and the misinterpretations could have had Naima making a decision of like missing the opportunity to grow more. And then, but the way that you end it allows growth for everybody. And so it's getting ready to tell like more of a story. So let's explore that a little bit more, like the layers and that those misunderstandings and misinterpretations,
Yeah, like so Through My Mice is a dramedy, and a lot of the humor comes in how the characters interact and their differences. So Naima, Muffin, and Brittany are totally different. They have totally different upbringings, and because of that, they see the world differently. And also that's also why they clash. But at the same time, they need each other at this moment in their lives in order to grow. And so they learn from like Naima the importance of sisterhood and seeing things through a different lens. They learn from Muffin the importance of independence. And then they learn from Brittany the importance of putting yourself first. So these girls, their differences is what brings them together. It's what makes them clash. And it's also where the comedy comes into play.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like watching it, it's real sisterhood to me, and I think, so I have so my best friend, and then we have a circle. It's three of us from college. Right. And so that's where the story is based in college, but we've been friends since college. We are in our 30s now.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And those are my girls. And it's, it was always us three, but very different layers. Me and my best friend today were talking about how we had an argument one time because I sent them to the store to buy me pepper, and they got like $5 pepper, and it pissed me off so bad. But we're still friends, you know what I mean? It didn't ruin the relationship, but like we've got to grow together, we've got to heal together, we've got to be supportive to one another, and also get to see each other in these new spaces in our life. And I feel like that's the story that you are telling with all of the characters, not just the women, but the men too. Like you do a good job of bringing everybody in. Like, what do you hope that viewers are learning from watching Three Blind Mice?
I'm really hoping that people see themselves, and when they usually don't see themselves, or a voice for a character that's similar to them that they're not used to. I hope that they'll have a different perspective of course, Baltimore City. Baltimore City is also a character, and Baltimore gets a bad rap. I was fortunate to be on shows like HBO's The Wire and HBO's We Own the City, both of which take place in Baltimore, but they also show a very negative aspect of the city. And so it was so important to me, for my hometown, to be shown in a positive light and show how dynamic the city is and the people that are in it. But also I want people to look at Black stories differently and see that we're not linear in the ways that I think that we're often portrayed in TV nowadays. I want to show how dynamic that we are, and really incite conversation about how we see the world, how we judge each other, how people judge us, how we judge, and also just different perspectives. Because just for example, Tristan McWilds, he's a 5%er, and you don't oftentimes see that all the time in shows. And the character Damon, who is played by Anthony Holland Jr., he is a member of a fraternity, but he's also a lover of comic books. Okay.
Mm-hmm,
But he also
mm-hmm.
does lots of volunteer work in the city. And so that's very interesting because you don't usually think of a ladies' man who's a fraternity who loves comic books too, but also does, So I wanted to show that we're very layered, and I want people to have that conversation.
Yeah. Beautiful story. Very, very beautiful.
Thank you.
So one more question, and a little bit of a layered question, but like you produced this with your mom,
I,
which I think is so beautiful. And then you wrote it, and then you also starred in it. So like, how do you balance the all of these roles, and then also the relationship like with your mom? You know what I mean? Because
yeah.
mom and daughters, we're typically close, but sometimes that in that close. My mom said my middle name this morning. I was like, "Girl, please,
Oh God.
so sometimes, and I think that's it working with anybody that's closely related to you,
Yeah.
So how do you balance all of that, and what brings you the most joy in the
Yeah.
process?
Well, I'm so thankful for my mother because this really happened because of her.
Mm-hmm.
She funded the pilot episode, and so she really invested a lot of her time and obviously her money and her belief in me. And so also because of that too, made me really nervous because it's like, oh God, I have to make sure this is so good because we only have one shot. And also there were several times like this has been in the making for like 7 years. We were trying to put it on
Mm-hmm.
its feet and we tried to go through other production companies. My mom said we should just do it ourselves. And
Mm-hmm.
so in that time, those 7 years, like there were times where I wanted to give up and just not do it because it was just not working. But she insisted that no, we have to do this, we have to follow through. So I'm thankful for her for that. She's definitely more on the business side, whereas I was just an artist. So I learned a lot from her how to be a businesswoman, the importance of like contracts, learning how to hire. So I'm really thankful for
Mm-hmm.
her for that, definitely.
I love it. 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 Okay, so tell us a little bit more about how people can find you on social media. How can they watch Three Blind Mice? How can
Yeah.
they support Three Blind Mice? Because you are still shopping it out to networks and you're going to continue to produce the second episode, correct?
Yeah, we're gonna produce the rest 7 episodes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so people can find me on Instagram at Imani Nia Robinson, and they can find Three Blind Mice at Three Blind Mice _ television on Instagram too. And they can go on YouTube and search up Faith the Purpose Productions, the Three Blind Mice pilot episode to watch the full thing as well.
Yay. Congratulations. And
Thank you.
thank Thank you again for taking time to meet with me. And so I'm also going to do a write up on this too. So you can find, more of the interview on my YouTube channel, but also on CourtneyArlesia.substack.com. So I cannot wait to share more about your journey. And again, thank you so much. I do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.